Outside the windows, the city is only beginning to breathe. A few passing cars, wet asphalt after the night rain. The neon sign of the pharmacy across the street that still hasn't gone dark. Emma stands alone behind the counter. She slowly wipes a cup, for too long, the same spot. Not because it's dirty. Because her hands need something to do. The vinyl crackles softly. Old jazz. The kind where pauses mean more than notes. Emma. There is a morning that belongs only to you. Before the customers. Before conversations. Before expectations. I loved that morning. Because in it, there was no one who could truly see me. She places the cup on the shelf. Straight. Perfectly aligned with the others. And at that exact moment, the doorbell rings. The cafe has been open for 15 minutes. Inside, it smells of fresh pastries and coffee, the kind Emma spent months perfecting. Not too acidic. Not too bitter. No extremes. She hates extremes. Emma moves through the space as if it were an extension of her body. She knows where everything is. Where the floor creaks. Where the light falls too sharply. She's wearing a soft sweater the color of warm milk, high-waisted jeans, and an apron embroidered. Her hair is pulled into a messy bun, though the messiness was carefully planned. Perfectionism is when everything looks accidental, but nothing is. Mrs. Harland enters. "Good morning, Emma," she says, as if they hadn't seen each other yesterday. Though they had. "Good morning, Mrs. Harland." The old woman sits at her favorite table by the window, the one where you can see the street, but not your own reflection in the glass. "You're earlier than usual today," she notices. "Couldn't sleep," Emma replies without looking up. She prepares the coffee in silence, yet she can feel the gaze on her. "You're thinking again," Mrs. Harland says. "I'm always thinking." "No, dear. You're hiding behind your thoughts." Emma places the cup in front of her. "With cinnamon," she adds. "I would have noticed if it wasn't there." The old woman nods toward the piece of paper by the door. "Looking for a barista?" "Yes." "Then you're ready to let someone new into your life." "It's just a job." Mrs. Harland smiles as if she's heard that before. "Of course it is." The door swings open too sharply for such a quiet morning. "Thank God you're open." Jess bursts inside like a flash of neon among the cafe's pastel tones. Leather jacket. Short platinum pixie cut. Tattoos impossible to miss. She smells of cigarettes, perfume, and nightlife. Double espresso. And if possible, without your judgment. "You came at 8 in the morning," Emma says dryly. "Of course I'm judging you. I love your honesty. It's so passive-aggressive." Emma sets the coffee in front of her. "You didn't sleep again." "I worked. Unlike you, I actually let myself live sometimes." Jess takes a sip, winces. Then smiles. "Damn. You still make the best coffee in this city." "That's because I don't mix drama into it." Jess notices the announcement.
Ooh.
"A barista?" "Yes. Finally." "Don't start." "Emma, you own a cafe, but you're afraid to start a conversation with a pretty girl. That's against the laws of the universe." Emma stays silent. "You do realize that if you hire her," Jess continues, "you'll have to look at her every day. That's the point of hiring." "No. I mean the other part." Emma looks up. "I don't discuss my personal life behind the counter." "Because you don't have one." Jess smiles, but there's no mockery in her eyes, only concern. I just don't want you hiding again, she adds more quietly. Emma turns away, pretending to wipe the counter. The bell rings. They both turn. Luna. She enters easily. Too easily for someone here for an interview. White hair, as if it's absorbed the moonlight. Green eyes, attentive, alive. A crop top, a jacket, rings on her fingers, and an effortless confidence in the way she moves. She looks around, lingering on the interior, the vinyl player, the pastry display. Hi, she says. I'm here about the ad. Time seems to slow down for a second. Emma feels it physically, like a light pressure in her chest. Yes, she answers after a brief pause. Of course. Luna steps closer, leaning casually against the counter, not invading the space, but not retreating either. Cool place. Very real. Thank you. Did you do all of this yourself? Almost. Jess looks at Emma, then at Luna, then back at Emma. A slow, predatory smile spreads across her face. I'm Jess. Luna. Beautiful name. Thanks. My parents gave it to me. Emma clears her throat. If you'd like, we can sit and talk, she offers Luna. Sure. As they walk away, Jess whispers after Emma. I already love her. Emma pretends she didn't hear. The light falls softly, highlighting Emma's freckles. Tell me about yourself, Emma says, trying to sound professional. I'm Luna. I love coffee, cities where no one knows me, and honest conversations. That's not exactly a resume. But it's the truth. Emma smiles despite herself. Any experience? Yes. 2 cafes. Why did you leave? Luna pauses, her gaze lingering on the window. Sometimes you have to leave before you're broken. By whom? People. Emma nods, as if she understands more than she wants to admit. Would you like to try my latte? I'd love to. As she works, Luna watches her closely, almost tenderly. Not judging. Interested. Emma feels that gaze on her skin. She sets the cup in front of Luna. Their fingers touch. Just for a moment. But Emma pulls her hand back too quickly. Luna notices. And says nothing. She takes a sip. Silent. Well? Emma asks softly. Luna smiles. This is the best latte I've ever had. A pause. So far. Emma laughs, unexpectedly sincerely. And in that moment, she realizes. Something has already begun. The door closes behind Luna softly. The bell rings, too loud for such a quiet morning. Emma remains behind the counter, holding an empty cup in her hands as if she still needs it. It takes her a moment to realize she's been staring at the door for too long. Well? Jess's voice pulls her back to reality. Did you feel it too, or was it just me? Feel what? Emma answers too quickly. Jess raises an eyebrow. Oh my God. Everything. Literally everything. She's just a candidate. Emma. You blushed. You never blush. Emma turns away, pretending to clear a table. I don't make decisions based on emotions. Yeah, I can tell, Jess smirks. You don't make decisions at all when feelings are involved. You're going to hire her, Jess says with certainty. You can't possibly know that. I can. Because if you don't, you'll think about her every time someone orders a latte. Emma freezes. You're exaggerating. I'm a bartender and a dancer, Jess shrugs. I know how to read people. And you, especially. Emma exhales. She's too. She searches for the word. Alive? Jess offers. Unpredictable.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what scares you. Emma doesn't answer. New customers drift into the cafe. Alex, the curly-haired student in an oversized hoodie, orders a cappuccino and looks at Emma with obvious curiosity. That was her, right? He asks as he takes the cup. Who? The new girl. The one with the white hair. You saw her? The entire internet would have seen it if it had been here, he laughs. You two had chemistry. Emma rolls her eyes. You watch too many shows. I'm gay and a student, Alex replies. That's literally my job. Mrs. Harland, sitting by the window, lifts her gaze from her cup. You liked her, she says calmly. Emma tenses. You don't know that. I know people, the old woman answers. And you were far too focused to be indifferent. Are you going to hire her? Mrs. Harland asks. Emma looks out the window. At the street. At the cafe's reflection in the glass. I haven't decided yet. Mrs. Harland nods. Sometimes the decision comes later. But the feeling, immediately. After lunch, the cafe empties. Jess leaves for work, tossing over her shoulder. Don't pretend you don't care. You're terrible at it. Emma is alone. She closes the cafe earlier than usual. Hangs the closed sign. Dims part of the lights. Then she sits at the window table, the same one where Luna sat. Emma never sits at the customers' tables. That's someone else's territory, someone else's space. She places her hands on the table. Stares at her fingers. And for some reason, she remembers how different fingers touched them. For 1 second. Emma. I haven't let myself think about someone like this in a long time. Not because I didn't want to. But because I knew, if I started, it would be hard to stop. She stands up abruptly, as if she's caught herself doing something forbidden. Emma's apartment is an extension of the cafe. The same warm tones. Minimal chaos. Shelves of books and vinyl records. She takes off her sweater, stays in a simple t-shirt. Puts the kettle on. Turns on the record player. But the music doesn't help. Emma sits on the couch and picks up her phone. She opens the job listing. Reads it as if for the first time. Looking for a barista. A cozy cafe in the city center. Important, love for coffee and respect for silence. She gives a faint smile. Respect for silence, she whispers. And yet you're the one breaking it. Her phone vibrates. A message from an unknown number. Luna. Hi. It's Luna. I hope it's not too late to text. I just wanted to say, thank you for the coffee and for being honest. Emma freezes. She stares at the screen for too long. She types. Deletes. Types again. Emma. Hi. No, it's not too late. Thank you for coming. 3 dots. Disappear. Appear again. Luna. I felt like I belonged there, like it was my place. Emma's chest tightens. She puts the phone face down. No, she tells herself softly. It's just work. But her hand reaches for the phone again anyway. Luna sits in a small rented room. Barely any things. A backpack against the wall. She looks at an old message on her phone. Victoria. You can't just disappear. Luna closes the chat. Exhales. I can, she says quietly. I already did. She opens the window. Breathes in the evening air. Luna. I wasn't looking for anything serious. I just wanted a place where I could stay. And maybe, a person. Night. Emma lies in bed, staring at the ceiling. The clock reads 2:17. She isn't sleeping. She sits up. Takes her phone. Types a message. Emma. If the offer is still on the table, come tomorrow at 8. Trial shift. One day. The reply comes almost instantly. Luna. I'll be there. Thank you, Emma. Hot beverage. Emma sets the phone down. Closes her eyes. And for the first time in a long while, she smiles, not out of politeness. Morning. Emma opens the cafe. She flips the sign to open. The bell rings. Luna walks in. She's wearing a black t-shirt, an apron, her hair half tied back. Morning, boss, she smiles. Good morning, Emma answers. Their eyes meet. A little longer than necessary. Emma. I didn't know how it would end. But I knew that if I didn't try, I'd regret it.